Hey knife fans, welcome back to my channel Mountain State Iron, where I do short technical reviews of the knives you want to learn more about. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. So today I've got something many refer to as the GOAT of affordable everyday carry knives on the table. This is the Vosteed Porcupine model A2605. So let's get it unboxed so we can take a look at it. Nothing too remarkable about the box itself. Has a little slide out tray with a pouch. The knife comes in. You have some information in the bottom here. There's a sticker and a cleaning cloth that comes with it. Get those to the side. Knife itself just comes in this pouch with Velcro and in a plastic bag. All right, so here she is. Let's talk about Vosteed a little themselves, because I always like giving credit where it's due. So these guys are relatively fresh face in the knife world. They were founded back in 2021 by Johnny and Yu Dong. And Yu is basically the talented designer behind a lot of their lineup. They're a Chinese outfit headquartered in Guangzhou, which is the buzzing hub for manufacturing down there. They handle all their production in-house now at their own facility in China. They also started out partnering with folks like Kaiser for OEM work, but they've leveled up to full control at this point. So specs wise, let's get into this. The Porcupine, its blade is a drop point style, obviously, and it's basically 3 inches long, 2.99 to be exact. Has a really nice satin finish on it, which gives it that clean, no fuss look. So the steel itself is 14C28N stainless, which is hardened to about 58 to 60 HRC according to their specs. So I love 14C28N for budget blades. It's got really good edge retention, so it stays sharp through a ton of cutting without needing constant touch-ups. And it's super corrosion resistance, which is a godsend if you're tossing it in your pocket for sweaty hikes or whatever. It's easy to sharpen at home too. You don't need any fancy stones for that. On the flip side, it's not the toughest steel out there, so if you're prying or batoning it like a maniac, it's going to chip. And it's, it'll chip a lot easier than something premium like S35 VN. But for everyday tasks, this stuff is just perfect. Handles are where this thing gets its nickname. Blue micarta scales that feel tough as nails and have this textured, almost porcupine quill vibe up close. Hopefully you can see that. Closed is just over 4 inches, opens to 7.2 total, and it weighs in light enough to forget it's there. Micarta is a composite of linen and resin, so ProSart's incredibly durable, and honestly it has kind of like a fiberglass feel to it in your hand, but not in a bad way. So, after a few weeks of using it, this all got very dull looking, almost white, but it shined back up for this video really easily with some a little bit of mineral oil on it, and didn't make it any more slippery. I think it was almost looked dried out and kind of needed it. And it's actually fairly smooth, even though it looks prickly. It's just a very light texturing in the scales itself. So it won't crack or warp like wood might, and it grips really well even with wet hands. It's also lightweight without feeling cheap, and that blue color pops too, although you can get in all sorts of colors. But I think it pairs really nice with the hardware itself. Cons, it can pick up grime in the texture over time. Like I was saying, it basically turned white over the last month and a half of use, and it's really not as premium feeling as titanium, but honestly at this price point, who cares? So interestingly, the frame, the blade, spine, and the finger choil all have copious amounts of gimping, which is otherwise known as small textured notches or grooves. You can see that right here on the spine. It's not very deep though, and then there's more up here towards the point. So that lends itself well to doing carving work or whittling away from yourself like this. You can put both thumbs on it and get some grip. Also, it has a large finger choil down here, and in that area you have some more gimping on the frame itself, and then interestingly, the frame has it all the way through on both sides. Although I have to say that in my hand, while this feels good, I can't say that this gimping is adding anything, because the scales are essentially at the same height as the ridges of the gimping, so there's no extra texture here that I feel. So really it seems more like an aesthetic thing, although the jimping here and the finger choil does provide extra grip. So if you want to put your finger up there, you can, and you have that extra grip right there, which is nice. So the lockups, you know, it's a top liner lock, which is basically a liner lock flipped to the top handle for easier thumb access. Deployment smooth with the giant thumb hole, although I prefer a thumb stud. But with this, you can flick it open with your middle finger as an option. See if I can get it. It's not that easy sometimes. There it goes. It was kind of stiff, actually, still after a month and a half of use. But it is loosening up still a little bit. So pros here, it's rock solid secure, no blade play to speak of in my testing, and the design keeps the handle super slim, so it slips in your pocket like there's really nothing there. It feels intuitive if you're used to frame locks but want something simpler. The only real con is that the liner locks in general can take a little breaking in to feel, you know, perfectly centered. If you're left-handed, you might need to adjust your grip a bit too. But once it's dialed in, it's as reliable as it comes, so there's no accidental closes mid-cut. And you can just press the button and the blade flips down. It's a very large chunk of steel. I can't get it here. There we go. I don't really use my finger to flip it very much, as you can see. And then it has a nice pocket clip. It's pretty deep in the pocket and reversible as well. So wrapping this up on value, the Porcupine I think is a steal. So you're getting 14C28N steel itself, quality micarta, and pretty much a very solid lock in a subcompact package that feels way more refined than it should. You know, at $69 straight from Vosteed's site. You know, I snagged this on Amazon, and you're looking closer to $58 shipping with Prime. So really, it's, in my opinion, it's entry-level pricing for mid-tier performance. So if you're wanting to get into a better EDC without dropping, you know, $100, this is your guy. Is it the GOAT of affordable EDCs? You know, I'd concur with that statement. What do you think? You think this is worth the grab? You guys got a favorite budget folder? Drop it in the comments and hit the like button if this helped you out or you enjoyed the review, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.